Chapter 11. Uncle Matt was still in shock. He just sat there staring at the prawn dish. It didn't help that the bug-like prawns stared at him. The owner was all over Papa. "I'm so sorry. This has never happened before. I run a clean place." "You don't have cockroaches or waterfalls in good restaurants," Papa pointed out at the column of water. "Customers shouldn't have to take care of your bugs or your plumbing mistakes." "Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry again. I'll talk to the waiters." He grinned nervously. "So you don't have to mention it to anyone, right?" "I wouldn't let my friends go through this." Father nodded first to the prawn dish and then to the waterfall. "It won't ever happen again." The owner took a handkerchief. He mopped his forehead. "And you've been such good customers, so of course there's no charge for the meal." That really surprised Father. "Well," he said thoughtfully. Uncle Curtis snapped his fingers. "We should have ordered more sparkling cider." The owner spread his arms out wide. "Of course, more cider for everyone." Father patted the frozen Uncle Matt on his shoulder. "And maybe something stronger for Matt. He was the one who found the surprise." Of course," the owner said, nodding. He broke up the new bottles. He brought up the new bottles personally and took care of the water buckets. Everyone enjoyed the bubbly soda. Even Uncle Matt became his old sunny self after the owner brought him a special drink. However, the prawn dishes went untouched. Everyone was scared of more uninvited mushrooms. Only Bobby didn't drink the soda. He sat looking sad and small. I slung my arm around him and whispered, "Don't worry, we'll find another by tomorrow. And if we don't, I know a way to stay out of Arnie's way." The next day we could hide in the chapel. Arnie wouldn't beat us up there. And if we hid there, Bobby couldn't bother me with bug talk. He'd have to keep his mouth shut while we were there. "But Hercules is gone," Bobby said. It finally dawned on me. My little brother was mourning a dead cockroach. I could just picture him years from now. He'd be like Charlie, wandering around in an apartment filled with bugs, and as happy as a bug in a rug. Worried, I warned him, "You're getting to be as weird as the bug lady." Okay, don't get mad," he squeaked hastily. I drew my eyebrows together, puzzled. Why would I get mad? He laughed nervously. "I don't know." Suddenly it hit me. "You think I'm just like Arnie, don't you? I don't lose my temper like that." His eyes started growing bigger. "No, not at all. I don't hit you." But I realized that my hug had turned into a headlock. "Much." "You're my brother. It's okay," he said simply. That was enough explanation for him. "Boys," Mother scolded. "We were just playing," I said, letting go. "Yeah, just playing," Bobby agreed. I didn't want to be another Arnie, so instead of staying mad, I tried to see what Bobby saw in Hercules. Though I strained my brain, I couldn't. "You actually missed that cockroach, don't you?" I asked, puzzled. "As much as Oscar," he confessed. I hadn't understood how he liked Oscar the alligator either. Alligators aren't affectionate pets. They're only interested in one thing, their next meal. I stared at Bobby for a moment. There were a lot of puzzles in life. Where does the second sock disappear to when you wash them? How do hangers multiply in the closet? Little brothers, though, they were the biggest mystery of all. Exploring outer space was easier than exploring the inner space between Bobby's ears. "I know you hated Hercules," he sniffed, "but he didn't hate you. We were giants to him. He trusted us. He thought we'd protect him." He shook his head ashamed. "But we didn't." I scratched my cheek. I had never thought of myself as being a giant anything. "What do you think I look like to him?" Bobby stretched his hands high over his head. "Maybe a big tower or a fort." For a moment, I could almost picture myself as tall as a mountain, or more likely a dangerous volcano that rumbled a lot. Sometimes I felt like I had put on magical glasses when I talked to Bobby. "You know something weird?" I confessed. "I can almost see what Hercules saw." "It's fascinating, isn't it?" he asked eagerly. How often had my little brother said that about something? Lots. How often did I say that? Never. Bobby could take pleasure in anything and everything. He could watch a weed growing from a crack in the sidewalk or a raindrop on his palm. Me, I just stepped on the weeds and complained about getting wet in the rain. Perhaps I wasn't so smart after all. I don't think I was ever going to like bugs. However, if I survived Arnie, maybe I'd even try to look at things more like Bobby. Bobby kicked his legs guiltily against his chair. "Maybe we should tell them about Hercules." As smart as Bobby was, he didn't know everything. What's the point? You heard Father. The owner should never have put us up here with the leaking pipes. Now shut up. Since the restaurant didn't have desserts, Aunt Norma had brought a big cake in a pink box. On the white icing were little plastic palm trees. The words were, "Next time, take her to Hawaii. Happy birthday anyway." That got a big laugh from everyone except my father. "Ha ha ha," Father chuckled anxiously. "So don't be cheap," Aunt Ethel scolded. "You can use the money you saved from the banquet. That should help buy part of the tickets." Mother came to Father's defense. "He's not cheap. He spends a lot of money on us. He just doesn't want to close up the store." "You're the best in Chinatown," Uncle Matt said. "Don't be afraid of the competition. Your customers will be waiting by your door when you come back." "Maybe," Father said unhappily. There was only one candle for Mother. "We don't want you wearing yourself out," Aunt Norma said. She had also brought paper plates and plastic forks. The cake was chocolate with vanilla icing. Bobby and I each got corner pieces with double icing. In my book, the cake was the hit of the party. Even though he was unhappy, Bobby polished off his piece too. Uncle Matt had 3 pieces. When his wife, Aunt Martha, shot him a dirty look, he insisted, "It helps my nerves." Afterward, we helped Mother carry her presents home. "I'm not cheap," Father murmured. "No, of course you're not," Mother said. "We live very comfortably." "We'll go to Hawaii sometime," Father insisted. "I'd rather go to Disneyland," I said. "You don't get a vote," Father said. Maybe it's just as well. If Bobby got to vote, we'd wind up at some place educational rather than fun, like the Museum of Toasters. So he surprised me when he suggested Hawaii would be nice. "You can't even swim," I said in surprise. "You don't need to swim to have fun," Bobby said. "How big are the bugs in Hawaii?" I asked him suspiciously. Mother said, "I hear they're pretty big," and she gave a shudder. "Especially the cockroaches." Suddenly I knew why Bobby wanted to visit there. "Hawaii has waterfalls too," I reminded Father. Father gave a grunt, "But their waterfalls don't come from busted pipes. They are all natural."